Alright, taking a break from the decking for a little bit. Got the boat turned upside down on the ground and prepping it for a little bit of patching. Had a dig at that one place right there in the middle welded. Looks really good. It's going to do fine. But we had some other smaller areas, rivets, that kind of leaked a little bit during the leak test. And so we've got those prepped, pretty much ready to go. Just kind of grind them out a little bit, very, very lightly. Don't want to go through the skin. And we'll etch them with Alvins solvent. This product I'm going to use is called Alvins Lab Metal. I had never heard of it before, but the folks that did the welding for me, a friend of mine works at a company called Federal Equipment Company, and they make heliports and put them on tops of buildings for helicopters to land on. So they work with a lot of aluminum, and they use it for filling and dressing, and say that it's really, really good and withstands time, weather, and this is through their experiences. So you know, they're not gonna hang heliports on the top of the tallest building in the world in Dubai and have it fail with a product that they can't trust on it. So we're going to try it on the bottom of this boat. I think it's going to work out pretty good. I just hope I got enough. I've got a little place back here in the back, and I'll show you this one. This was a result of, we actually tried to weld it, but what happened was there is flotation foam underneath of it that had a little bit of water in it from where the boat has sat out in the weather. So we got a weld on it and got the biggest part of it patched, but you might be able to see there's a couple of small holes, about 3 or 4 small holes around it. And what I'm going to do is put a good layer of Alvins Lab Metal on it and patch it, and we'll see if that doesn't do the trick. And again, we're going to etch it with lab solvent, Alvins Lab Metal solvent, before we put it down, and that should do the trick as far as getting it to stick. It's all roughed in. It's been scratched up pretty good, so it should have a good surface to adhere to. And after we get that done, we'll clean this dirty pig off. We'll have to take off these, although it might look pretty good in the video. That Lowe is rough. So we're going to try to get that off, see if we can't heat that off. And a couple other little areas. Got a sticker up there that's kind of, it's an old registration sticker we need to get off. And that's about it for now. Okay, we've applied the Alvins Lab Metal, and several areas are a little bit rough. It kind of likes to pull a little bit. If you're going to use this stuff, I highly recommend keeping a glass container of the solvent available, and use a small putty knife. And it'll clean up okay if you want to reuse it later. That one over there looks a little rough, but I built it up pretty well. That one got built up pretty good. And the next thing we're going to do is, after that dries, now they say, you know, what's it, 2 hours for a 1/16 inch, 4 hours for an 1/8 inch. Folks, let me tell you, in my best experiences giving stuff like this time to cure really, really well is the best policy. So if you're in a hurry, you might get a leak. I would just, I give it at least 24 hours, and most all the stuff I do, I'll give as much as 48 hours curing time before I'll go putting stuff into workable situations. I'm pretty sure the boat's gonna lay out here for a couple or 3 days, and may even get rained on before I get around to sanding these off and smoothing them down a little bit and getting it ready to paint. I still haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to use to get lake stain off the boat. But I'll get back to you on that one. And as far as the patchwork goes, I'll try to remember to post a little piece of video at the end of this after I've got the boat out in the water and taking it out a few times and make sure there's no, I'd like for it to stay 100% dry on the inside, but we'll see. I think I can get it that way. I don't think it'll be a big problem, but there it is. Alvins Lab Metal. Ooh, that one's a little rough, but that's alright. We're going to sand it out.